I said, Armin, we got to throw some plates.
Yeah.
I mean, what's more
And
great than throwing
I want to
plates?
acknowledge Rusba in the back.
Yes.
I know. Thank you so much for
Rusba
allowing us to do
trusted
that.
us in his restaurant. We did not break any of Rusba's plates. We did break the boss. But it was a huge investment of faith for Rusba to allow us this opportunity for this character in that setting. So one more time for Rusba, who is a very brave soul.
It was already dressed. I didn't have to worry about getting any blue. The blue was already at the restaurant and provided, and it helped with the undertone of the story.
Yeah.
It was very good. It was very good. So when you were writing this, Candace, did you already have people in mind for your characters?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you wrote that, you were writing
I was
Kristen
writing
for Kristen.
basically based off of people that I knew. So
Okay.
based off of their range and their personality. For example, Vanessa, she's like a big sister to me. So I wanted her to play the older friend that's concerned about me and my introvertness, and you shouldn't be out late this night, you're a female. And then Kristen, I know she could take it there to that level. I've seen her acting, she's tremendous, so I knew she could handle something like that. And so it was basically looking out for people that I knew and wanted to give them opportunity and kind of basing it off of their personalities.
And we also went against type because John Venable, who you saw on the screen, who played Orson, is actually a comedian. He's in Vegas right now doing stand-up comedy.
Oh, wow.
So what I like to do in movies is I like to cast ethnic people against stereotype and cast Caucasian actors against their type. Ask them, well, what role did you usually play? Oh, I always play soccer mom. Nope, you're playing the killer.
So do you find that that's a powerful tool to get people to step out of their comfort zone?
Yes.
Do you get better acting from it, or?
I think so, because I don't think they never get a chance. Because
Right.
a lot of times when they take acting classes, they find out their range, but when they go out and audition, they're already put in a category. They just, because casting directors, producers will take a look at you and they just put you in that category.
Right.
Very true. Very true. Definitely it gives you a different twist on things. So we'll go back to Candace with the writing of it. How long did it take from the concept to the actual getting here? Because it seemed like it was a very quick process.
Right. I know that I had this idea in May, and I sat with Armin at a coffee shop, and we discussed it, and then I did the first draft, which was, it was there, but it wasn't there. So we met again, and we discussed more ideas. He told me real stories of him delivering, and I'm like, wow, that's great. Let's go with your real stories, because real stories are always true, and that's what hits home. So I started writing that. Rearranged in maybe about 4 or 5 drafts. So about from May to August, we had the final draft and said, all right, we're in production now. So we started filming in September to about October, and in post-production from October to about beginning of February. Yeah.
Because it was a lot of back and forth, because we had Cardi Con post-production, but also Chris and I were still in the middle of finishing out season 2.
Right.
Yeah.
And you were also busy starting another project and working on another script that we'll talk about at the very end.
Right.
You're a busy man.
While they were doing the season 3 in San Diego, I was doing all the actors, Kristen, Candace, Sherry, Vanessa, they were all wrapped. I wasn't wrapped. I was still doing B-roll.
Right. Yeah, he was outside. Where were you?
I went to Mulholland Drive and I grabbed the camera, I grabbed the recorder. I felt like I was John Travolta in Blowout, just recording sound.
And he was like on people's property, like trying to get the shot. I'm like, Armin, please be safe. I don't want to get a call at like midnight. You're out there and you're in trouble.
People do all the time. Every time I drive in Mulholland Drive, people always have a camera on the tripod. They're always taking a photo of the view.
But he was really dedicated. I really appreciate Armin. He's an amazing director, an amazing friend, and he was very hands-on for this project. And originally for the first draft, I wrote myself to die. And he said, no, we're not going that route. We're not going to have another story of an African-American female dying. You're going to live, and you're going to be empowered at the end. So I really appreciate him for not underestimating me, allowing me to do my thing. Hey, Sherry!
And also, on the note, let me cut you off. On the note, as a women, we had actual female actresses that did their own stunts.
Nice, very nice. Hi, I'll be right here. Sherry, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sherry Davis. I was in this.
Yeah.
You were.
Quite scary.
Creepy. Huh? I'm fine. I'll sit right here.
So we were just talking a little bit about the film. Sherry, why don't you tell us your inspiration for your character and how you brought that across?
Oh, well, when Candace and I started talking about the role, and she kind of sent me the script, and then we still were kind of going back and forth, I said, have you ever seen the movie People Under the Stairs?
Oh,
And she was like, no, I haven't. And I was like, that's kind of who I'm picturing for this character that I want to base my role on. And then you watch it,
And then I watched it and I said yes.
Yeah.
Dead
And
on.
Yeah. I was like, she's just creepy,
Yeah.
and they're just kind of disgusting, the parents are, you know. So,
Yeah.
so that's what I told John, you know, the same thing. I said, so this is what I'm thinking, and I've run it by Candace, and I think we're all on the same page.
Mhm.
And so that was our inspiration, you know, the mom and dad on People Under the Stairs.
And I gave you the freedom to pick a dress. And when you put on the dress, I said to Matt, like, oh my God, this kind of reminds me of Kathy Turner from Serial Mom.
Right, which worked really well too, because Candace and I were doing that too. I was like screenshotting things and
Right,
sending them to
right.
her and everything, and she was like, that's perfect.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it came together well.
It did.
Yeah, I think people were definitely not expecting that sweet Texas person to be the bad guy.
Right.
It was definitely a wonderful twist.
Good.
And so from the beginning, Candace, did you have that twist going from the very beginning?
Yeah, I wanted a character that you are like, oh, she's so sweet. I like her. She's been so helpful to this girl. I go in her house once and I make it out fine, right? But then I go back in, and then that's when everything breaks loose. And so I kind of wanted like misdirection. She's so sweet. She's so nice. She used her bathroom. Now she's gonna give her a drink, and boom. So.
Never drink the blue water.
I know, right?
I think that's a good indication for
Right.
water. So Kristen, what season on Horror Talk are you up to now?
You're the first audience to watch the season 3 premiere.
Nice.
This is a big stretch. First of all, I want to thank Armin, I want to thank Matt Chasen, I want to thank all of our guests, including Candace. It takes a village to make that show. Armin has edited 30 plus episodes of the show.
Wow.
So season 3 was our first live audience show in San Diego, and our first show on the road. So with the darling Candace over here. So, and it's also premiering on Bitmovio, which I think we might be the first horror talk show on a blockchain-based streaming system.
Nice.
So I have to check on that, but we've experienced tremendous growth. It's because we have people like you all actually watching. And we're going to be on Facebook Live, and if you can't watch us, you can listen to us on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, later this afternoon at around 4 o'clock. So,
Very nice.
Yep.
And do you have a premiere date for when you go into Bitmovio?
It's like happening now.
Okay, so
Like,
right now?
like you could go to Bitmovio now and you'd be able to watch it.
Okay,
Right
multiple
now.
episodes? Or just the one for
Just
now?
the one.
Okay.
We turn out one a week for 12 weeks.
Awesome.
Actually, the season 3 is going to be 8 weeks.
Very nice.
So next 8 weeks, we'll have one interview a week coming out. We have obviously Candace, Michael Epstein and Sophia Cacciola of from Fantastic Horror Film Festival, Bob Gross from the movie Bob. We have a lot, and we have a good mix of new horror talent. Huh? John Gross, sorry, John Gross. Mike Melsky of The Child Remains.
Yelena De Leon.
Yelena De Leon, who was just on Will and Grace, who did Murder in the Woods.
In a Better Life, yeah.
And A Better Life. So we're going to have 8 weeks of episodes coming out. Each week usually comes out on Friday. So you can watch it the whole weekend.
And also check out the second season. And we got some legit people. We had B. Wallace from E.T. and Cujo. We have Alan Howarth, who I call him the OG of music composition.
Yeah,
I
that
mean-
was like a master class in horror composing. It was actually a double feature with Alan
He
Howard.
was so generous. He gave us 1 hour of his time. I mean, I felt like I was back in music class. I mean, it was.
Yeah, we were talking about Fibonacci sequences. I mean, it got really high level. And thank you so much for the support for that. We wanted to take the opportunity to debut the season with Candace.
Excellent.
And now you know how to kill her.
I know. Remember that.
And on that note, if we can turn to the audience, do we have any audience questions for anybody up on the panel? Yes?
I got one for Candace. As a writer, producer, and then lead actress in this, did you ever find yourself having to step back with having someone else direct it?
Yes, definitely. I had numerous talks with Armin about my vision, but also because it is his story, we didn't want to clash. I wanted to respect that it's his story and it's just me writing it, just like portraying it. But then I had certain shots that I had in my mind. So we had discussions previously, so that way I could step back and just focus on acting, and he could direct and get his vision out as well as what I saw too. So it was just about working with someone who you can flow well with and not clash.
Yes.
In the horror talk, you had mentioned that you didn't want to spoil it because of, we hadn't seen it yet, but can you go into what was so unique about the blocking of the sequence that you're referring to?
It was the pool scene, and that was the most difficult scene ever because safety first. It was how cold was it that night?
It was below freezing.
Below freezing, and the pool did not reach the heat level that we wanted it to.
We had it blasted for at least 8 hours.
Yeah, and it still was cold.
And it was just cold.
So, like, I'm in boy shorts and a tank top, and I'm just like, I can't even move. And we're trying to stay true to the script, but it was late. It was like almost midnight or past midnight, and we're like, okay, just run at me and let's just jump in. And then when we jump in, we cut, and then we get the part of us fighting, and it was just, yeah, that was the most difficult stunt I have done so far, but I'm not opposed to doing more stunts.
We had two cameras rolling at the same time.
Yes, there was 2 different angles. We blocked it. She runs at me, grabs me, we fall in, and then we pretend to drown each other. But it was, yeah, trying to be safe. Safety's number 1.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Well, this might be a good time too to plug our next project. Armin is about to take a turn from horror and take a turn much more toward drama. So Armin, would you like to talk a little bit about Different Class?
Yes. So besides the Card Call screening, we're going to be having a fundraising at Delphi at 4 o'clock. We started an Indiegogo campaign, and there's a couple people in the audience that were so generous and donated, and it's still online. So if you want to donate for developmental funds for the project, we are offering great perks. It's definitely a far departure from Card and Call. It's a coming-of-age social drama about a young girl finding her voice in the early 90s, during the whole LA riots. So that's what we have going on in Daniel.
Yeah, and I'll talk a little bit about it too because it's both of our projects. Armin and I wrote it together. It is based loosely on Armin's childhood and a lot of events in growing up, and it's an amazing story that we wrote together. We're both going to produce together, and Armin is going to direct, and Rory is going to be one of our stars in it. We are very excited. It is a powerful piece. It is a drama. It is a coming-of-age film. It deals with a lot of issues, from social class to racism to police brutality. It's got a lot in it, and it's something that we think people are going to be very happy when they see it. And anybody have any questions on anything else?
Well, in the end of that, you think you lived in the end? I didn't know the ending. It's left
that's
open.
Funny.
Guy just comes out.
We're gonna say I lived. We're gonna say I
Yeah,
definitely
okay.
lived and I kicked his ass.
Good.
That was the beginning of the Robin and Audrey team.
Right.
Okay, just see him coming, you don't know.
I know, you're right.
Okay.
Well, we ask that you please join us at Delphi Greek for our red carpet and a little luncheon, and we're just going to have a little bit of fun, talk about our fundraiser. Please feel free to ask any of us any questions on the projects coming up, and we thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You guys felt the atmosphere because I was really pushing it harder and harder.
I can say we have a red carpet at Delphi. If you guys don't know where it is, it's at 1383 Westwood Boulevard, not very far from here. There'll be a red carpet starting at 4 o'clock. The carpet's going to go from 4 until 5. There'll be a special presentation for Armin in his next film, and Dana and Candace, and we're going to have some other special events. It'll be really cool. Champagne toast for everyone.
You know I love the
So,
champagne.
so come on down and join us. It'll be a party. All right.